Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for all of you out there. And if you didn't know, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. And coming, I want to make sure I get this right because
Please do. Listen, that's all I'm thinking in my head. Please get the dates right.
Yes, let me make sure I get everything right. But I'm almost positive I know the dates because Gene's birthday is the 24th.
Okay.
So September 23rd will be Virtual Fight Tour, Put Up or Shut Up. It's already 1K in the pot. Who else is going to join? But on September 24th, King of New York up in, I want to see where it's actually in the Bronx, 478 Girard Avenue, Bronx, New York.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go out there. It's new all black belt divisions, 2 rounds. All black belt divisions are 2 rounds. Adult black belt fighters can compete in 2 divisions.
Nice.
Just so you guys know that. All right. But on the night before, hey, it's going down. Put up or shut up. Team fighting. What team is the best? All righty. And we lost Los 1 minute and 46 seconds into the broadcast.
We lost him earlier than that, fam. But
I know.
We'll let it slide.
Yes. But anyway, so while we're doing this, we actually have some music.
There he is.
We got some music.
All right, what you got?
Here. All right. So you guys should like this.
DJ Khaled, Convict Music, we the best. Yeah, we taking over. Listen up.
Yes. All right. Chris, Lowski, you guys guess why I said we taking over. Play that song.
Nope.
No, not at all.
I would go ahead, Los. What were you saying?
I was thinking, but then I couldn't think of the reason why. So I was like,
I think he could be talking about some of our athletes, our martial arts athletes.
There we go.
From our side, had just gone over the past weekend over into a full contact variation of what we do, and both were successful in their matches. One of them acquiring a title with it. So I feel as though that he may or may not have been, shooting some messages about the success of our sport martial art competitors in the other realm, aka we taking over, baby.
Yes, there we go, Chris.
I didn't catch the hook. I guess my bad.
See, I knew there was something that slipped in there, friend. I get it.
Los, you don't know that song?
I don't know that song. Sorry.
I don't even know what to say about that. All right. So yes. There's some big things that happened this past weekend in Karate Combat, and we will get to that and we will talk about that. But
that's what we were talking about. Okay.
Yes. But before we get to that, Los, Chris.
Yes, sir.
How was you guys' week?
It's been a week already?
Yeah, it's been a week.
It has been.
Yeah. Hey man, when you get older, time just
I feel like when COVID happened, man, time was just staying still for like ever. And now it just seems like it's just like pop. It's like I can't believe it's been a week already. I feel like it hasn't been a week already.
It's been a week, man. I've been on here, said it. I've said it in my life. I've always enjoy your Wednesdays, man, because it just goes by fast, man.
Yeah.
It's true.
Go out, do something on your Tuesday, Wednesday. Don't wait till the weekend. Do it whenever. As soon as you get that impulse and urge to do something, get up, and do something because, Yeah. But how was you guys' week, man?
My week was good. We were prepping a lot last week, prepping for our summer camp this week. So we just started today, our first day of summer camp. So yeah, I'm tired, ready to go home, ready to go eat. But well, other than that though, it's been good. It's been a good week.
Let me ask you this for my clarification. You have 2 or 3 schools?
I have 2 programs. I don't have 2 schools. I have 2 programs. I have 1 school. My second location is just after school and summer camp.
Okay, but you have 2 locations.
I have 2 locations, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, there we go. I should have said locations. Yes. Okay, you got 2 locations. So each location has its own summer camp.
Each location has its own summer camp, yes.
Yes, I can see that being being very challenging, having its own challenges.
Actually today was our first day, man. I was actually pretty impressed by how well the first day went, like especially because we have so many new kids coming in, and just kind of them adjusting to our culture and what we do and stuff, and just kind of like our environment, and then having kids be off of school, so they're all super excited, right? So I was really impressed by how our day went today. Hopefully it'll be just as good tomorrow and the rest of the week and the whole summer that way. But like we have a pretty good team. I have like 26 people on my staff right now, so yeah, we're pretty locked up right now.
Chris, how was your week, buddy?
Week was good. We were in week 4 of our summer camp. So we've been kind of after it.
Georgia gets
everything is starting to tune into that super well-oiled machine where I can be able to do things like I did this weekend, and go down and be there to be able to be supporting Robbie and Ross. So that was super cool. And other than that, everything was business as usual, I guess.
How was your week, Travis?
Yes, sir. How was yours?
A blur, like Lo said, be honest with you. I'm honestly trying to think of what I started back working out. So I started back working out because I didn't like the flab that I was starting to get. So I started back working out, trying to get, back in my shape. So for the next, couple months while I'm here in Detroit, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna go crazy like I've been doing, like I used to. 5 to 7 days, I'm gonna be in the gym. So hopefully I'll be sexy by the end of the summer.
What's up?
But
you gonna be sitting down in Detroit for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay here for a little bit while so the traveling, a lot of people ask me how I did the traveling, and honestly it's just all I did was I just took away all my bills. Like I sold my car, I put everything in storage. I don't have so it's just my income, and then I don't really have any more bills really besides my phone bill and stuff like that. So, but when you go over there, I use my credit card. I use my credit card, and I was buying a lot of stuff. I was doing a lot of stuff. Like right now, like if in your normal daylight or normal Tuesday, you don't do anything, right? You just go to work, you just chill. But I was going out, experiencing life and spending money. So I accrued
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I get it.
I accrued some credit card bills. So,
you got bills now.
I know, right? So let me sit down, pay these things off, and then honestly, I'm gonna go back out. I'm not gonna go for as long as I did before, not 2.5 months. I may go out for like a month, and then come back and sit down, pay it off, and then go back out and do it again, depending on what happens. So we'll see. But yeah, all right. It's time. Enough time has passed.
All right.
Ain't nobody on with us right now. I'm not seeing no comments.
Nah, it's a lightweight.
Y'all doing this. I see how y'all doing this. Had big fights over the weekend. Y'all don't want to come talk to us about it?
It hurts my heart.
Man.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Oh wait. Let me make sure the banner is correct.
Is it 152?
Yeah, it's 152. Yeah, we were at 150. Yeah, we had 152. But no, it's all right. Time to get into the Karate Combat review.
Okay.
All right. I going to first off, Los.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch it?
I watched Robbie's fight and I watched Ross's fight. I had to go back and watch Ross's fight.
I did the exact same thing. I watched a Robbie's fight, and then I ended up falling asleep. Ended up falling asleep and didn't watch Ross's fight to the next day. So
most people when they say I fell asleep, they just say I fell asleep. You say I fell asleep.
Because I did. I fell asleep. Like I just I fell asleep.
Most people just fall asleep. They don't.
I fell asleep, man.
Okay.
So I fell asleep and I didn't get to see it. So I watched Ross's fight the next day. One of us was there
Live.
live.
Ooh, that was
He got
me.
to see all the details of everything that was happening in Fighting Combat.
Did.
So we want Chris to give us our on the scene review of what happened.
Depth review and all
There
that
you go.
jazz, right?
Yes. So
Right.
Chris,
So-
go ahead, man.
First off, let me say that was a very well put together event. Like from the setup at the hotel to the training rooms to the weigh-ins, the way they took the shuttle over, the way they had everything scheduled out in time increments. Like, man, they did a really, really, really good job. That's first things first. The back behind the scenes in the show with the Florida Athletic Commission ran pretty smooth. Fighters warm-up areas were good. Yeah, man. And then we got to the fights, which Robbie was first up. I got to have the privilege of accompanying Robbie in the back. But they had, and with his coach Mark from Canada, and then that's how I got privy to be in the back there. But man, Robbie
What was it
looked
like being backstage?
good. Being in the back? Everybody was super friendly. Like I said, it was well organized, well run. They kept, they had like curtains for like dressing rooms for every fighter that was in the red corner and everyone that was in the blue corner. And then they had mats on the floor for warm ups and like, it was like I said, it was dope. It was a dope setup.
So were Ross
We
and
were
Robbie
at the back, like, well, go ahead.
close? Were Ross and Robbie close together in their backstage area? Or were,
No,
like,
they were in different corners, and Robbie was first fight, Ross was last fight. So
yeah, so it's like never even saw each other, basically.
not really in the back, no.
So we were grand opening and grand closing. Got it. All right.
Yes.
Is that a song too?
It's a lyric.
It's a lyric. Okay, so I thought so. Yeah, I heard that.
You know.
I
Look
caught
at
on. Damn, I was quick. Caught that one.
in the lyric song. Yeah. All right.
And then we got into the fights.
right.
It was nice when we got out there to see the sizable amount of sport karate people in attendance. Like that was super cool to see.
Yeah, that was
A
low
lot
up.
of Ross fans, a lot of Robbie fans, a lot of sport karate people from Florida. So that was cool. Legend had a huge show up. They brought a lot of people. Damien came up. Brian was there. Jeremy, Abeda, Devin, my mom, Ross's parents, my instructor. Like there was a ton of people in the building. So that was nice to see. And then we get to the fights. Where you want to start, Trav? You want to start with Robbie right away? Just jump into it.
Yeah, he was first fight. So
First fight, went all 3 rounds. Took a little bit of time kind of getting used to the forward pressure and settling down on his hands. But I believe Robbie used his movement, side kicks, engaged when he needed to, cut out of the angles, stopped most of the damage with the exception of a few body kicks. Came out with the dub, man. It was a unanimous decision. Came out with
that's what I meant to
contract.
ask that. I didn't see the they didn't say like the scores or anything. They just said it was.
They didn't say the scores for everybody. They just said
Yeah.
a unanimous decision because there were no knockouts on this card.
So how do you know he won on all 3 cards?
They announced it
Oh, okay.
to us. They said winner by unanimous decision. So I mean, that's the only reason we knew. I don't think they showed us the cards, they definitely didn't show us the cards. They might have offered to show Robbie the cards, but I don't recall.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I didn't say. I was just curious as what the breakdown of the score was.
Yeah,
It was 2-1, 3-0, or what they had it, and which
How did
rounds
it
they
score?
had.
Is it like a boxing score?
I think so.
yeah, but they had weird criterias when they were scoring it. But they also had Florida Athletic Commission people who were scoring the karate moves by like kicks, were supposed to be like worth a certain amount of like points, and like they kind of tallied them in their head and calculated part of that as well, and aggression.
Okay, wait.
They were trying to explain it to us in the van ride on the way back, and it was a little bit confusing. In the last ones they did in Budapest, it was much easier because they had their own judges who do understand the style and stuff. But when they do them over here in the States, they have to have athletic commission judges.
Okay, so wait. So what you're saying is that based off of
what you do and what you land, you should be awarded like points for that, and then that should also impact how the round looks, plus aggression and the rest of the other things that they were looking at. But this was also Saturday night on our way back from the event to the hotel while the guy was talking to us, one of the head guys. So,
were you guys inebriated at this time?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
With the face like, I don't believe you guys.
Saturday night on the way back. All right.
No.
But, all right. So that's interesting that they have a different scoring that based off of the types of techniques that are being scored and thrown. I know aggression is another one. Yes. Los, your thoughts on the fight?
I thought it was good. I thought the guy was. The guy seemed like he was bigger than Robbie. Like, was that a true? He looked like he was bigger than Robbie. So he was pressuring Robbie quite a bit, but Robbie was able to use his movement. He was able to hit him in between spaces and stuff like that. I just wasn't sure how it was going to end, because when they were announcing it, all they kept saying was, "Oh, the aggression. The judges are really looking for the aggression. They're looking for the aggression. Usually, the person that's aggressive going forward is the one that's gonna, usually come on." They kept saying this. I'm watching like. So when they say Robbie Warren, I was like, all right, that's what's up. I was confused because I wasn't sure, when they were announcing it.
Yeah, when they were announcing it.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, that's what people said.
So I wasn't sure what the outcome was going to be, just because of that, and that's all we're hearing on the actual broadcast. So when he won, I was like, all right, that's cool, that's what's up. But like I said, I didn't know how they judge. That's why asking that question was kind of like, what was the criteria?
Yeah. So. One of the things that I found extremely interesting just about us, something that we always watch. There's a couple of things I watched in this fight. One was the bouncing, right? And when you're bouncing that much on those mats, it can tire you out, right? Yeah, and so you could see Robbie getting a little fatigued in those rounds, like in the end of the second half, the second half of the second round, I could see some fatigue in Robbie, and even in the third round, you can really see the fatigue in him, just based off of his techniques and how he was throwing them. And the guy was marching forward, and he was, basically he thought he just knew he was winning. But one of the things I thought about, like the first round in me was clearly Robbie's round, in my estimation. Right. And the second round, it was almost like the first half of it was Robbie's. The second half was other guys. And so it was like that can go either way depending on the judges. You know what I mean? And then the third round to me, you can just see the guy had so much more control in that third round to me, toward it. But at the same time, there were certain aspects in the fight that Robbie made it look like, okay, now here's this, I'm fighting back, blah blah blah. So I was curious. I was like, I don't know how they're going to judge this, but I didn't know if it was going. When you said it's unanimous decision, I would have thought that at least one of the judges would have had it going to the other way. So that's why that's kind of interesting to me to see. It's like, oh, it's unanimous decision. Okay, all right. But that's one thing that I think anybody who jumps into multiple round fights and you're fighting on these type of mats, make sure you don't bounce too much, because that can just,
if you're not used to it, it'll wear you out.
Yeah, that can take.
That was a big ring. It was a big ring.
It can wear you out. It can, over the course of those rounds, plus constantly your adrenaline. And we'll get to the Ross's fight in a minute. That was kind of a difference of seeing somebody who's been doing karate, whatever. And I thought and the other thing was, we as sport karate people, even if we're punchers, we still judge distance based on our legs. So whenever the dude would get close, Robbie would need to back up to get into leg distance of where he can kick.
Right.
Versus the other guy trying to get in close because he's
forward.
right. They're more in the boxing style. They're judging everything with their arms. So it was just interesting to me to see that, and that aspect always comes to. It always ends up being I'm coming close and forward to you because I want to get close enough so I can hit you because I'm not comfortable being on the outside. We're trying to keep him on the outside because we're comfortable being at kicker's length in that distance area. So that was an interesting around fight to me. So if you guys, I wonder who's really honestly, I am shocked that we have no comments right now, to be honest with you about it. That's interesting. But yeah, those are the two things that stood out to me. So then after the fight, Chris, what happened? What happened behind the scenes that people didn't get to see?
I don't know what they showed. Robbie had his interview. He ran into the crowd and hugged his fiance. And then
he did say his wife too. He said his wife. Changed it to fiance. I had to chuckle with that one. Like,
it might as well be. Just
might as well at this point.
There's only a couple things waiting for that. And then after a little bit, they called us to the back. He had to get his doctor evaluations, which was very quick. And then post-fight interview. Then after that, we went back out to the crowd and just kind of hung out with everybody and kind of watched the fights until Ross fought, and then we watched the fights.
Yeah. So was there any other fights that like kind of caught your eye or that you saw that was kind of like, oh shoot, that was an interesting fight, that was a good fight, blah blah? Because honestly, after Robbie's fight, I was like, all right, I checked back. They was like, oh yeah, Ross, the main event card starts at 9. I was like, oh, this is the main of okay, they doing that. They doing the prelim, the pre-show fight, and then doing the main card at 9. I'm like, all right, well,
yeah,
I'll check back in later, and I didn't. Until the next day.
You see what happened was.
Yeah, hey, look, I went to sleep.
I get it. So I went night. Yeah, but night.
I went night. All right. So then, so let's go ahead and get to the Ross fight.
Yes.
All right.
The guy made it out like it was he was true karate versus Ross's kickboxing because
which I found hilarious. But yeah,
I was just like, I do this for the honor of karate, and I was like, oh, hold on, fam, like we're gonna have to take a time out on that one.
Yeah, all they looking at is what are you talking about?
Because that's a technical foul, sir. We're not having that.
This is what are you talking about, Chief?
Yeah, but dude was short and stocky. Just kept a real hard base, real WKF style. Most of these guys were WKFers, World Karate Federation, the Olympic style, Kumite fighters. A lot of them were, at least. So thought that was gonna do well, and it did fairly better than I thought it would, to be honest. Drive?
I thought you were going to explain the fight.
Oh.
No. At least you're sick this week.
What?
Nothing.
What did you say, Lowe's?
I didn't say nothing. I said at least you're sick this week.
Hey man, listen, I was tired last week. I ain't care about nobody. I was exhausted. Shoot, I'm exhausted too. I just drove back up from Florida for the rest of the day today, for this morning. Not feeling good. So, but no. First 2 rounds, I thought Ross controlled distance very well. Kind of hesitant. The other Adamov was kind of hesitant as well. He was more of a counter fighter, waiting for Ross to come in with reckless abandonment with his hands so he could duck down and hit that real tight shell and overhand right him, which caught a couple times, but nothing with any real muster to give Ross any kind of problems. Ross was switching back and forth from righty to lefty. You could see some of that sport karate head faking, You saw a little bit of that a couple rounds, but more along the lines of setups. But for me, what it felt like was just a little bit of hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also due to respect for, Buddy Adamov's counterfighting, I guess. Round 3 and 4 got a little closer. I thought Ross was walking into a little bit more stuff, but he was using those calf kicks to really throw off the balance and back him down in the corners. And then 5th round, Ross kind of just outworked him, outscored him, monitored the
dude was tired.
Yes,
tired.
He was gassed. He was gassed in the 3rd, but then every once in a while he'd catch one of those big overhands and it'd wake him back up. And then he'd move and he'd slip something, and then he'd hit him with like a 1-2 or something would get close, and it would wake him back up. Like, oh, I might be still in this. But towards
Ross would hit him with that, or he would hit Ross with that.
He would hit Ross with those, and it would like I said to what it was
TV or something.
What?
It must have been a glimpse of my TV or something.
Now he caught him with a couple of them. Nothing, like I said, nothing that was going to stagger him or rock or change the pace of the fight. But every once in a while, he'd get a shot in, and then you'd see him like pump back up to life. Because in starting the 3rd round, we were talking about he looked like he was just kind of there. And then he would throw something.
5 rounds, right?
What?
It was 5 rounds.
It was
all
5
rounds.
rounds.
Yeah. Oh, so it was like up to the 3rd round. You thought it looked like he was just there?
No. In the first 2 rounds, it was like in the fight, trying to fight. The 3rd round, it just looked like he was mentally just kind of, I gotta go fight. I gotta go finish this fight. Until he would catch glimpses of catching something or doing something well in the fight, and then he would have like a little resurgence. That's what it appeared as when we were there.
Los, what did you think about the fight?
I was watching it from the TV, so
Right.
Like I said, I watched it later from the TV. Like I actually watched it on my big TV, so it was like a 65-inch TV. I had it big, and I watched all 5 rounds.
Okay.
He was there.
Right.
He was there.
I just said he did better, Los. I didn't say he won the round by any means, Los.
Listen, I mean, if this was what did that guy beat before he had to face Ross to become the world champion, and anyone else that has any thoughts of wanting to become a world champion is going to have some serious work to do if that is the best that they put out as their world champion, right? Because if you're going after Ross now, like your whole everything you're used to doing, you're gonna have to totally change, right? Because again, this guy, it looked like, again, from my perspective on my big screen TV that I saw, that he literally was just there. Like, I gotta do these 5 rounds, and I hope this guy doesn't knock me out. And I'm gonna try a couple things here and there. If I get lucky, I get lucky. That didn't work, so I'm gonna go back to my bouncing and my spinning hook kick that I'm going to not hit and fall down because Ross has never seen that before. So it is.
He didn't throw a tornado. If he had threw the tornado, though,
they're under control. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Not controlled in this round.
No.
Yeah, I wish.
Full KO. Finish him.
I don't know. It's one of the things like I Ross being the world champion is going to set a whole different standard as to what a world champion caliber fighter is supposed to be in karate combat, if that makes sense. Because that guy was the world champion. I just wondered what was his path to get there.
There's a few things I thought about this fight, right?
Yeah, what'd you think?
As I watched it on my
I want to hear what I gotta say because
my big iPhone, my 12-inch iPhone. That's what I watched mine on. The first thing that I thought about was as I watched it, because I woke up and as soon as I opened up my phone, all I saw was literally everybody congratulating Ross. So I was like, oh, shoot, Ross won. Good, blah, 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 right? So I wanted to watch it. So I was watching it intently, waiting to see the dominance. And what I thought was Ross is bigger. Yes. The guy's smaller.
By a lot. But
Ross is walking him down. The guy is backing up, throwing techniques. It looks like a bigger version of the Robbie fight and the style, because it was literally Ross in the kickboxing stance, and the other guy was kind of in that, but he wasn't bouncing. He just kind of was in the karate stance.
That guy was nowhere near as active as Robbie was.
No, he wasn't. But that's what I'm saying. What I was saying is that the style of the fight was one person coming forward, the other person trying to keep distance and pick shots when the other person is coming in. Now, he wasn't as successful as something like that. That first round, I thought completely Robbie was in control. I don't think I saw a round where the guy was completely in control over Ross, right? I never thought that. Never thought there was a round or fight like that. But the style was the same. So I was interested. I was worried. I was like, well, I wasn't worried because I already knew who won the fight. So I was curious. It's like, okay, that's a big switch. But I mean, I'm curious as what the judges are looking at in that standpoint, right? So I was just watching the fight and then just kind of like, all right. But to me, this was not one of Ross's more impressive fights. I've seen Ross look better, like more sharp, boom. Like you guys said, he was kind of a lot of feints, but he was walking forward and he wasn't as active as I thought he would be. I thought he would throw 5 or 6 feints, but wouldn't throw anything. And I was like, well, where's the technique behind this? I know you can have it, step off to the angle to throw the shots and different things, but I didn't see him be that active. He was just there. And I think if the guy had turned up the intensity, I think Ross would have turned up the intensity and we would have gotten a better fight and the guy probably would have got knocked out. But to be honest with you, and I was waiting for that to happen, but I just never saw that. You know what I mean? So what you about to say? What, Chris?
No, I'm just laughing because, I thought it was going to be a little bit more action. The dude has 1 or 2 knockouts in Karate Combat already. That's how he did get to the
That's how he ended up winning.
That's how he ended up winning the belt. He knocked the dude out. But you know what I mean? So like I thought he was gonna come at Ross with a little bit more rather than faking and moving around so much.
And I wanted to see some more sidekicks from Ross. I thought he was primed for that.
And off of his when he fought orthodox stance and he would throw that right calf kick. I was expecting a left hand, a left body kick, a left head kick to kind of swap that up because he was kicking him and turning him so bad. Like it was like whack, whack, bang, bang.
But
you know what I mean? But
I mean, at no point did I think Ross was ever in trouble.
No,
even when the guy threw certain techniques, I never thought Ross was in trouble. I looked at him like, all right, he's got him. Boom, boom, boom. All right, see, you know what? You caught that because you got lax, a little bit lax, and now. And then Ross would turn up and
focus back in, home back in.
Pop. I'm like, okay, there we go. So if he could keep that focus and hunger to it, aggressiveness, I thought it would have been probably an easier fight for Ross. But yeah, all right. What's Brett saying? Oh, can Karate Combat stop with the overproduction? How come every other sport makes it to TV and gets treated like a professional sport? Then we get this fake post-apocalyptic crap. Jeez, Brett. Take it. You know,
sport though, right? I mean, they got paid like professionals. The production looked professional to me. I'm not really sure.
I didn't get to see the production side of it. I just got to saw the screens that were up.
Well, what I look at it is this. I think we are still in this realm that TV is legitimate, right? It legitimizes a sport. And honestly, I don't think in today's day and age, TV is the bar. Like so many people are cutting the cord, getting rid of it. Like to me, if you can do all this other stuff on these other streaming platforms and whatever else you need to do, I don't necessarily think it's a need to rush to TV unless we have big money coming in, and then at that point, it's a different ball game at that point. But right now, honestly, I don't think that, legitimizes it. Like I don't look at this any differently than when they used to have like log cutting and all the what's all those
cup stacking challenges.
Yeah, all those different things. Like I think the biggest difference is they have sponsorships. And I honestly, but you bring up a point that I was going to ask for you guys. Is Karate Combat I think the commentary was lacking. Overall presentation was trying too hard. I can't argue. I mean, we weren't commentating, Brett. So
right. So it dwindles slightly.
Yeah, it was gonna be a little down, But they're working on doing what I think is trying to give the best show possible. So
getting some names, having some people, yeah.
But I mean, this is their live show before they were doing tape broadcast. So hey, look, just everybody's got to start somewhere and work their way through it. But I was going to ask you guys, do you think this is going to be what our sport leads into from now on? Is this our sport going to feed into karate combat?
No.
Why?
Because we have to get our athletes to be why you doing that?
I want to hear what you're going to say.
We have to get our athletes to really increase their level of technical striking skill. Right? So they have to, again, a full contact fight is just as a full contact fight. So it's not just first one to score, right? They had like ground and pound, right? So you were able to strike someone on the ground, right? For like 3 or 4 seconds. You're doing leg kicks, 5 seconds. You're doing leg kicks. You're doing all types of other things that you're able to do that you can't really do as far as a basic sport, karate, martial arts fighter. So if that's the case, you have to become a fighter that does sport martial arts. But you have to be able to have the ability to be able to do both, right? So that is, again, that's why you see someone like Ross that can do it and do really well with it, because he's able to do both. That's how he's always fought, though. He didn't fight any other way, right? So that is, if you ask it, that's just my opinion. I'm not, listen, people can come on later and comment, but exactly, it's 2 different sports. So if someone wants to go into it, do I see our sport leading into that?
It could.
Probably could. Right, but there isn't the masses that you're getting from like these other places. Like, I mean, these people. Where's the guy from that you fought from, like Germany or some other place or whatever?
Azerbaijan.
That place.
Where's that? Yeah, but there's people coming.
I honestly don't know. I've been trying. I've been meaning to look that up. To where's that? What continent?
So I think there's a handful.
Turkey, Jordan.
Okay.
I think there's a handful. But as far as like our elite levels that we have, our fighters have to fight. I feel more like how Ross left his legacy in the sport to be able to move into that next level.
Chris,
I'm on board with Los on that one. If point fighters are going to switch over and to do that, I mean, there can be some. There might be a couple more that make that transition, but I don't think you're going to see it in droves. In that direction. Go ahead, Los.
I'm gonna speak on this. And this is my brother. This is my man, right? I felt the guy that Robbie fought didn't really feel Robbie's power, or that Robbie was strong enough to actually really hurt him, right? So I think that was why he kept pushing forward on Robbie, because he didn't feel Robbie can actually stop him. He can outpoint him, right? But could he actually stop him? So, strikers knowing and learning how to do that, right? And how to stop someone from just doing that, I think that's going to be key. That was some of the differences I saw in that fight, was the guy just kept pushing forward because I didn't feel he felt Robbie was strong enough to actually stop him, right? Because Robbie never really settled down, and even when he flurried, sometimes his flurries weren't really hitting, right? It was missing.
Right.
So if you'd have caught him with some of those shots, that probably would have backed the kid up some, right? So that's what I'm saying. As our athletes, we want to be able to do that. Now, Robbie's done kickboxing. He's done for us. I'm not saying Robbie can't get out there and bang with people, and he's not afraid to bang at all, right? But I think that's the key that you can see in the difference, where, again, someone like Ross will get in there, and he's not afraid to hit you, but he understands he's going to get hit too. Like, that's just kind of some of the things.
One other thing. Shout out to Romani for winning his
fight. Full contact in too.
Yep. And that's where I was about to go. Can Romani go into karate combat?
Was a fine tuning, yeah.
I'll be curious to see how I haven't seen any of his fights, his full contact fights. So I'll be curious to see how he marriages both things, right? Because it has to be a marriage of them both, right? It can't just be one,
right?
You got to be able to blend them both and have them both be successful in what you're trying to do. So I'll be curious to see how his Muay Thai fights are going compared to how his sport aspect of his training goes. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Can
Yes.
who else can you see doing this?
Brandon.
Yes.
I don't know about his chin, but just 'cause I don't know about his chin, would I bet Brian would probably do pretty well in this.
Brian from
Proper.
Ocean City.
Is he still on Proper?
Yeah, I think so. Or Team Diamond G3, one of the two. I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I think he was still on Proper though. But I don't know.
I can see Brandon doing that sport. Doing it.
Yeah.
Again, he'll be a shorter fighter, right? So
Yes.
wherever his weight would be, you get what I'm saying? That would be a challenge.
Yeah, these dudes were pretty sizable. They look like they didn't cut a lot of weight. 135, yeah, Proper still.
Proper.
Yeah. The 135ers, the champ, Chimaev, was big. He was pretty big. He was taller than I was, which I mean,
Really?
I'm not too tall. That's not. But he was a good sized dude for 135. Like I was like, oh, okay. The dude Robbie fought was pretty
Yeah,
big.
he looked like he looked big too. Like
He looked big than Robbie. What?
Were they the same weight class?
Yes. They were only like maybe a pound off from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dude just looked bigger.
He was bigger. He was taller. He was
Robbie's fighting style too, right? Because the guy was fighting a little more upright, and Robbie's more a little bit lower.
Yes.
That could be like the thought of why it looked like he was a little bigger than Robbie.
But no, he was bigger than Robbie. There's no way around that. He was just bigger than Robbie.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I think our sport can. And it's because of what you said, Los, about if this is who their champion is, I can't see that our people not going in there. Now, if they're not trained for it, they just jump in there, just, hey, I can do it. And yeah, I can see us getting mopped up. But if they're not ready, if they took it seriously, started training and went into it knowing that, hey, I'm ready. It's 3 rounds, I can see people being ready and competing well and doing well in the sport. And you know what would be one of the ways to get prepared for doing something like that?
Why are you laughing at me, Chris?
We all know why you're making that face, but we're not going to say anything about it.
You can't hide your faces.
We all know why you're making the face.
Like,
yeah, we all know.
Listen,
that's what you feel.
I know. I'm just.
I don't think everybody's cut out for full contact, right?
Correct.
Robbie and Ross are not the first that went out and did it or tried it.
They are not. But I'm going to say I just think that
Leonard, that's all you would need is a handful, though. If we had 4 or 5 like strong fighters that went into this and really like took it to the next level, like that would be almost like a domination of the sport, almost, right? Or that league per se. If you have 4 or 5,
45, 55, 65, 75, 85.
yeah, like you mean you had dominant fighters that can go in there, 5 or 6 fighters.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we could actually do that if we really wanted.
You say we like you about to train people to get them in there.
I mean, I can train people to get in there. I can get them in there. But I'm gonna say this. You know what's a good stepping stone for them to do this?
Huh?
Do you know what is a good stepping stone?
I'm asking, huh? What?
It's our sponsor, the Virtual
Fight Tour.
3 rounds, same as they're doing over there. That 3 rounds in the cage on the mat.
Yeah.
That gets you that stepping
What
stone.
a way to mirror the two.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's.
Did you hear that, Jesse?
It's there, you know. I think sport karate I think sport karate guys that know how to use their sidekicks properly to move these guys off center, push them with it, then follow up. I think a lot of guys could transition into it. We could definitely do it. Elite point fighters can transition to all fighting disciplines if they take it serious and want it. I think
That's
can.
that's exactly what I'm saying here, though, guys. Like, there are some people that can do it, but they have to be committed to it, right?
Yeah.
The reason why Ross is able to go out and be successful, and even Robbie able to get out there and be successful, is because they committed themselves to that transition, right? That's the thing. Like, you know, Ben, you are a fighter. You have no problem with scrapping and with anybody, right? A lot of people are not into that type of game.
And that's my thing. Not everybody can do it because not everybody can handle, first off, training consistently to be ready for 3 rounds. Number one. Number two, the other thing is that you have to be able to, once you get hit, because you're going to get hit, how are you going to take that hit and continue going? You can't stop and say, hold on, time out. I need to take a breather. I got to fix my glove. Yeah, all that stuff. That's not going to fly, Chief. So, all right, what's Linda saying? Bring back continuous, and then maybe we can start getting more ready for this style. Yeah, continuous, I guess continuous is another way to go with it, but, you know,
you can say it. You don't like the way it's run. You don't like.
Yeah, I don't like the way continuous.
You don't like the way
kind of
they currently have the system set up for continuous. Like, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
say that, Trav. You can go ahead
I don't
and
like
just
the style
outright say
of
that.
fighting.
It's okay.
Yeah, I think if we brought continuous, and a lot of people did continuous in the preparation for this, it would give them bad habits going into
At
that.
least the way it's been ran, judged, and whatnot
Previously
as of the
over the
last quite a
past-
few years.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, fam. No.
But,
You've done
all
it
right.
pretty well, but
yeah, so we, you know, maybe it can, maybe it won't. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, cause get Low some food,
What?
get Chris some sleep and some NyQuil. I'm gonna get back to watching Westworld, cause you know it came back. So I got to see the first episode. But yeah, you know. All right, and since we started with some music, I'm gonna go ahead and end it with some music, the same music that we had before, because you know we.
Hey man, Cali with my eyes open belly, blowing that spinning, going down Benny, drop 6, 4, 3, wheel and switch.
We got to figure out what we're gonna do next week, people. Because you know, U.S. Open is this weekend. You know, a lot of people want to see us, talk to us, and
they do
reactions. But on Monday, when we normally record, is the 4th of July.
Bang bang.
So we got to figure out something with that. But we'll let y'all know what we're gonna end up doing with that. So
we'll keep you posted. But until then,
we can supply you. I got enough work to feed the whole time.